And I was talking to a nigga today, and we both came to the conclusion: why would he pick a girl like me when there's bitches out here that will cook, clean, go to work 40 hours a week, not ask for no money, and just be happy to have a piece of man? Why would you go for a woman like me? And he agreed, and I both agreed that it just wouldn't be a good deal when he go find him a girl that would cook, clean, pay half the bills with him, and pop that thing, pop that cat, and just be happy to have a piece of man near her. And he was like, yeah, because other girls, they just want attention and love. You asking for money, you ask for this. And I'm just thinking to myself, and I told him straight up, you right. I wouldn't pick a girl like me if I could manipulate another bitch to do everything for me, and all I.
We were so close. We were so close to like having a breakthrough and a moment of understanding, right? But then we had to put that negative slant, that negative bias into it, and saying, yeah, you would be a woman you'd be manipulating. Some women understand that it's about teamwork. It's not about just you have to do these things for me. I just met you. I need money from you because that way I can assess your level of commitment or value or interest in me, or for whatever reason or whatever justification we are currently using to decide that asking for money from a man you don't know is somehow romantic or somehow the new dating standard, the new dating trend. No, we're so close. If you understanding that, yeah. Why would he pick you over someone that gets that it's a team effort? That if I do my part, if I fill my role, he can do his part and he can fulfill his role, which there may be some things that are overlapping, but we mainly have different areas of that we're better at. If someone is saying like, I just want to be loved and cared for, and that is what they're looking for, how is that if you're calling it a pick me? And I think had another video up there about pick me's, right? I, I get it that it's a shaming tactic, it's a shaming thing, but I don't understand the issue. If I want to be with you and you're indicating that these are the things that are important to me, these are the things that matter to me, and I show that, yeah, I have those qualities, those tendencies, I have the things that you're looking for, that something is a bad thing? No, I think that's strategic. but but again, we're so close to a little bit of epiphany, a little bit of revelation where you understand, yeah, this is why a guy would go elsewhere. All other things being equal, all other things being equal. Why would a guy deal with someone like you who's demanding these things irresponsibly? And before we continue this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. YouTube is a tricky thing and does what it wants with those notifications. So I want you to get the notifications when I make a video and I post it. I try to post consistently at the same times every day, even on weekends. So even if you don't get the notifications, you can like somewhere in the back of your subconscious think, oh, there should be a video out today if you're on YouTube like that. And I know you guys have lives and you check in when you can check in. But still, I just want to make it easier and just kind of be consistent in what we're putting out. That way, we can stay true to the first video on the channel that was about discipline. That's why we keep this going, even when it's inconvenient. But back to the video. Right? Um, we hear a lot about pick me's and how it's some sort of derogatory thing, and I don't think men, yeah, in general, and I'm generalizing. I'm just speaking for myself. I never really understood the idea or the slander behind being a pick me. If you want a man and saying if you want a man, then you should be paying attention to things that are important to him. Men have to do that. Men of a certain standard, they understand we have to do that. We were kind of indoctrinated and taught earlier on. You have to do these things that are important to women. We just had to unlearn a lot of that because unfortunately there's often what is said versus what women often respond to, and they can be different things at different times of the day, at different times of the month, different times of the year. So it's a variable sort of equation. One thing comes out and sometimes it could be something different, but in general speaking, we understand that women are saying women are communicating what it is that they want, right? And we have an idea that in terms of the preferences for height, for money, for attraction, um, we have those things. So men that decide, okay, I want to be more attractive to women, and that's a very natural thing. I'm not here to shame men for saying that, right? And I don't think we lose any style points for saying that. We know there's certain things we have to curtail or certain things we have to adopt in order to show that, in order to get that thing that we want. Very natural. But somehow, the thought process, I think maybe we become so accustomed to men are the one that chase women. So when women are saying, here, I want to make it easier to be caught, to be chased, that somehow now that makes them bad. Again, if you don't care about, if you're decentering men and you don't care about men's attention, then it really shouldn't matter what other women are doing, whether or not they're quote unquote pick me's or not. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they should. You should sort of just praise them for the exercising that same choice to do that. Remember that ideally feminism is about giving women a choice. What someone chooses now, I want a man. Shouldn't shame from that, right? They all don't have to. You all don't have to be a monolith and agree of the same thing to do the same things and all the time. If someone wants something different, it's fine to want something different. But back to the video, back to her being so close to that little bit of epiphany, and I think she's probably going to go on a little bit of negative slant right here. So let's just let the video continue, and then we'll pick it apart a little more.
I gotta tell her is that I love her. Why would I go for a girl like me? I get where he coming from, and we both agree I'm probably not gonna find a man, and I'm okay with that because if this is how y'all niggas acting, I don't want y'all.
So again, yeah, if we're coming to that same conclusion that if you know you may not find a man and you want to continue on that same course of behavior, then yeah, okay, more power to you. We're not here to shame women for what they want, the choices or the outcomes that they get. We just want them to be aware that, and just men too, we're men to also be aware that once you start walking down a certain path and these are decisions you're making, that outcome that you get when you get there, you're going to be complaining into a void, right? That this is not what you wanted, this is not what you like. No, you complain into a void. You chose and you condoned a lot of those behaviors when you saw it and kept it moving. You kept it pushing. So when you get what you get, that's what it is. So, this young woman, when she's saying, yeah, why would you want a woman like me? Okay, I understand that most men are going to want the things that you described outside of calling it manipulation. If I'm with someone that appreciates me, my attention, my love, right, what I do for them, and they want to indicate that and show that by doing the things that I love, that's important to me, taking care of me, and not asking for money out the gate. Right? I think some people need to realize in terms of how men operate, we're more than willing to provide and protect once we see the value, once we understand that you're not simply here for money. Regardless of how much money a man has, he doesn't want to erroneously give it away to a woman that's unappreciative of him, that doesn't care about him and only cares about what's in his wallet. Again, it doesn't matter how much money he has, from rubbing nickels together to millions, right? Millions in assets and such. All men just don't want to be taken advantage. No one wants to be taken advantage of. So when you start with gimme, 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 that looks to us like you want to take advantage of us because you don't know me, you don't know my character, you don't know if you like me, you don't know if I'm going to see you tomorrow, but you want some sort of monetary compensation out the gate. Men are looking at this and say, whoa, whoa, no, 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 no. Versus there's another woman out there who is showing all the things that men say they want. Why would you? It's like this, right? And I'll leave this before this will be the last example. When men see a feminine woman, they stand up straight, right? They curb the worst of their behaviors. Their language gets cleaner, right? They get more attentive. They get less vulgar. That's the power of a real femininity. Men shape up when they see that. When you come in calling dudes niggas and bros and dudes, yeah, nothing happens, nothing changes. We'll feel just as comfortable as we were with the other guys. We're not looking at you in some sort of, feminine light. You're just one of the guys. One of the guys doesn't elicit the masculine response, right? Men aren't being, that soft, exerting that sort of leadership and that softness, that soft masculinity with vulgar women. We're really not. But again, we're not here to shame people for wanting what they want. We're cool with that. We just want people to understand that the consequences and outcomes that comes with that is a very, very, very normal thing. And when you hit it, I mean, hopefully, I'll still be here to review your video where you start complaining about men, years down the line, and we'll be able to maybe splice these things together and say, Remember, you didn't care about what he wanted, right?" I think we all understand that. But if you think I'm missing something, let me know down in the comments. As usual, like to engage with you guys, go back and forth, especially when you have, something to say. Sometimes when you guys just talk with each other, I smile like that old grandpa in one of those old movies, watching the family do what they got to do. If you see videos on your screen right now, take a look. Let me know what you think about those as well. And of course, if you listen to my voice after 10.5 minutes of soapboxing and you haven't subscribed, subscribe and let me know why. I'll see you guys in the next one.